How are you getting on, folks? Look at today. I would actually class as a fairly decent enough day. Most of the selections, obviously, in Down Royal, they, I suppose, ran on. If they didn't win, they ran on for a place, and I suppose a couple were a little bit disappointing, but they still made for, I suppose, great, excitement really at the end of the day. The English racing, we had some, I suppose, good luck with, I think the name of the horse is, what was it? The 9-1 winner that we had. Manila, for me, went out to 9-1. As well as that, the nap in Weatherby came in. Surname absolutely hosing up at 3-1. I know there's a few people that got on board, and I'm delighted you did, to be quite honest. I think it's possibly the easiest money I've made anyway in my life. But yeah, I definitely think he's got a very exciting future ahead of him, a future season. Cork now tomorrow, it looks to be a very, very good day of racing. There is some, I suppose, short-ish price favourites in here that can't really be overlooked. But there is some serious value down the market as well, and I suppose we're going to chance our arm with a little bit of a try-cast here as well. But definitely, I think if we can get 2-3 winners, which I think is I suppose, reasonable enough. I suppose standard really at the end of the day. I definitely think we should be able to come away with some sort of a profit overall for the week. But yeah, we may as well kick things off anyway. The 12.40, we're not going to be too, I suppose, too exciting with this one here now. We're going to go with the sharp price favourite here, Barney Stinson at, I think it's 4-5. Really and truly, you're looking at overall, I suppose, the overall stamp and the overall profile of the horse. It's chalk and cheese compared to the rest of them here. It's definitely got a lovely, I suppose, setup for a nice run here. I think it cost €105,000 in the sales. Really and truly, you would be expecting this horse to run a very, very big race. I would be disappointed to see it being beaten. I definitely think out of the, I suppose, the potential of the horses and the quality of the horses, this one stands out a country mile. Really and truly, if it's beaten, I would be very, very disappointed. It's well bred. I think it's a Fame and Glory. It's a Fame and Glory horse. Obviously, the Fame and Glories are having a very, very good time of it recently. They do like the softer ground. They're very much a good battler when you want it. And yeah, I think 4-5 is I suppose it's not the best value race of the day, but yeah, at 4-5, I definitely would be. I'd rather be getting on board with it than taking it on. 110, the next race of the day. We're going straight into the each way market here now with this one. We're going to take a bit of a chance. But if getting a run, I think it's third reserve. If getting a run, which it should really do, considering there is a few, I suppose, summer horses in here that won't appreciate the softer ground. If this horse gets in, I'd be expecting a good win here now at this stage. I wouldn't even be expecting a second or a third. I'd be expecting this horse to go and win the race. But Indiana Jones at 16-1, like for the Rob Core team, it's definitely a very, very exciting. It's a very exciting sort. It's proven to like this ground. It's run up to a mark of 126 in France. Second behind a very decent horse that's gone on to win 50. I think it's something like 50-odd thousand in 2 races. Undefeated over in France in soft and heavy ground. Looks to be a very good prospect as well. So any sort of improvement or any sort of being able to build onto that, I would be expecting this horse to go and win the race here tomorrow. I know it's a bold shout. We're expecting an awful lot for a third reserve just to even get into the race, but really and truly, if it gets in, you're going to see that market plummet. it's clear as day the second best of the listed, I suppose, entries, along with reserves as well. If getting a run, I would have no problem seeing this horse hose up. Really and truly, I've looked at the form. The favourite here, yeah, if it stays like this and this Indiana Jones doesn't get in, I would be expecting the favourite to win, really and truly. Like, it's coming from a Joseph O'Brien yard, but the problem is we don't know how well this horse is going to jump. Obviously, we know that he handles the ground and he should be able to jump coming from Joseph O'Brien's, but I'd rather take him on with this 16-1 shot. I think he is a great chance of getting into the lineup here and be expected to see a bit of a shock here now tomorrow. 142 then, straight back onto the favourites here again. Majestic Maid should win this for the Michael Kennedy team. Like, you look at the potential and the quality and everything else like that in this race. Majestic Maid stands out by 10-12 lengths, if not more. Handles the ground, was a very good second last time out. I think that form has actually gone on to be boosted since, but really and truly, when you're looking at overall, I suppose, potential, and when you're looking to get as many winners on the board as you can, Majestic Maid is surely one to be definitely siding with. I can't see anything else in here really that's going to take me fancy or, I suppose, trouble this favourite here. But coming from a Cork yard, or I think it's Cork. It's either Cork or Kerry. It's one of the two. But it should be very hard to beat. I would be expecting this horse to go and absolutely hose up here tomorrow. Really and truly, if you take ratings and you take, I suppose, overall profile into account, you'd be expecting this horse to win by 5, 6, possibly up to 10 lengths. Next race of the day then, we're going to the nap of the day. We're going to go with Goodbye Someday at 2-1. Personally speaking, this one here looks to be an absolute steal of a price. It's coming in, I suppose, with the best race of the day in terms of overall quality. You've got the likes of Ragnar Lodbrok going to be nipping at its heels. But the one thing that I would be worried about with Ragnar Lodbrok here is the fact that it was only, I think, 4 lengths in front of Elizabeth J. Now, Elizabeth J went on then to Clonmel earlier on in the week. I think it was Thursday. It couldn't even finish the race. So really and truly, how good of a horse is this? I would be expecting to see this Goodbye Someday. When you look at, like, as I say, you're looking for overall form and overall, I suppose, results that are backed up. Goodbye Someday, one horse in particular that stands out in my head is Bridge Native for the Dot Love team. Take a look at her form book. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. I think there's a third in here. The third was actually behind this Goodbye Someday. But my God, like, really and truly, when you're looking, I suppose, for value, 2-1 is massive for this Goodbye Someday. I would be expecting this horse to lead these on a merry dance. It's definitely the class act of the race. I would be shocked to see it out of the top 2. Obviously, look, you have to allow for improvement for Ragnar Lodbrok. Possibly it will come, possibly it won't. I'm guessing it won't. Not as much so to actually go and beat Goodbye Someday here now tomorrow. It's meeting a whole different kettle of fish than it met with Elizabeth J. Really and truly, Goodbye Someday should be the one to hose up for the Kylie team. Moving on then to the 246. Back to an each way shout here now with this one. Rapid Response is 10-1. In my personal opinion, it should be up closer to the top of the market. I think it's trading at, like, it's the second last of the outsiders here. It's an insult. You just look at the form book. It's a string of seconds behind the likes of Western Victory, Popong. Who else is there? There's definitely a few more. It's one around, I think, Tipperary or Killarney is one of the two. I'm not 100% sure on that one. It's got a string of 1s and 2s. if it keeps this form going and it does handle this softish ground, I'd be surprised to see it out of the top two. I'd imagine that this horse is going to put up a very, very strong battle here. Really and truly, like, it doesn't have to find too much to, I suppose, trouble the favourites here and trouble the top of the market. It's definitely a sound jumper. It's clear as day. It jumps fairly solid and fairly straight. It likes, I suppose, well, look at it. It's fairly ground versatile, really, you could say. I'm shocked to see it at 10-1. I think it's got a great each way market. If I'm not mistaken, there's one of these each ways here that's paying 4 places. I'm not 100% sure if it's rapid response, but it could be. I could be totally wrong here. All I have is the horses and the prices. But yeah, it looks to be definitely one to, I suppose, definitely seriously consider. And in terms of overall ability and overall potential, rapid response is bang there. 10-1 is a great value here, and I would definitely suggest getting on board each way. Next race then, the 320. We are going to, I suppose, take a little bit of a chance, I suppose, mixing an each way market in with a next best here. This gate checker, or the gate checker, 12-1, last year's winner on soft ground, has 2 runs for the Michael Horgan yard this year. Fairly decent sorts. I think it was 4th and 5th or 5th and 6th. Just, I suppose, they were just races to blow a bit of wind off and blow the cobwebs off him, really, at the end of the day. If, I suppose, coming back to Cork as a course altogether, and the ground is currently soft, but it could get heavier. It's fairly solid. Like, it's put up some very good runs around this course and distance. It's one of the only ones in here that is a course and distance winner. I think, personally speaking, around Cork, especially in the ground that is going to be meeting tomorrow, it's definitely a good form checker as well. Yeah, I think this one here is the 4 places. So when you're, I suppose, looking for value and looking for, I suppose, the best, like, look at, obviously, Dead Heat for the Noel McParnan team is a horse that I really do like, and is a horse that definitely looks to be going to be very much up at the top of the, I suppose, market, and like really there at the business end tomorrow. But I'd be sort of siding with last year's winner here. Mark Walsh takes the ride. Like, he's starting to get, I suppose he's starting to get back in on form again. Like, obviously, look at Michael Horgan. He's been sort of out of form, poor Michael. Like, he's getting a bit of hard luck with getting winners, but yeah, I'd be definitely thinking 12-1 at an each way price is definitely going to be my next best bet of the day. Really and truly, he's not going to be too far away. Providing he does get a clear round, and he should be well able to mix it in with the likes of Dead Heat and all that here, who could just be, I suppose, starting to get a little bit over handicapped and in a little bit of trouble here. But yeah, I'd be definitely expecting the gate checker to run a very good race tomorrow, and 12-1 is a great price. Next race then, or the last race we're going to cover before we go on to the TriCast. We're going to take a chance here now with Power for Loud for, I think it's the Queelies, or it could be the Kylies. I'm not 100% sure. It's either the Queelies or the Kylies, anyway, whoever it is. It's currently trading around 7-2. I think this horse has a serious chance. Obviously, you're looking at the Mullins horse here. I can't think of the name now, but if I'm not mistaken, it looks to be, just thinking about it now, it could definitely be the only horse that Willie sends to Cork tomorrow. Definitely looks to be a classy sort. It won in Listowel against Nudie at, I think it beat it by 4.5 lengths, fairly impressively. But Nudie went out then the next day in Wexford in ground that is going to be meeting tomorrow. And I wouldn't say it flopped, but we were sort of expecting to see it go on and win the race. It finished fourth. It wasn't too far behind, but it was still behind, I suppose, horses that it should be beaten. That would be a little bit of a worry for me. This line out, or powerful out, at 7-2 is definitely the better value in my opinion. I definitely wouldn't be going head over heels about this odds-on shot tomorrow. You just look back at the Tremor race that this powerful out won. It led the horses on a merry dance. Harmundison was 10 lengths behind, which is very, very impressive. It's going to give this favourite an awful lot to, I suppose, think about, and give him an awful lot to do. And we'll just see how good this horse really is. I think the fact that it's a little bit more experienced, and I suppose the fact that it's raced against potentially better opposition, it could stand to it. And I think 4-1, 7-2, with the way the money is speaking about this Mullins horse, it could even go out further, and it could go an each way price. If it does, definitely jump on board. And yeah, I would definitely think that it's definitely got a great chance of winning. Finally then, the last bet we're going to, I suppose, try and land. The TriCast. I think it's safe to say Dreal Deal at 4-1 on is a complete waste of time. There's no point even thinking about backing it. You're sort of looking for trebles, maybe. I suppose if you want to put the 4 or the 3 odds on horses in this treble here tomorrow, definitely I wouldn't be going too mad on it, but if you want to turn a few odds on horses into a little bit of profit, really, at the end of the day, it looks a safe enough bet to do. Obviously, look at Dreal Deal, given a clear round, it's going to hose up. Really and truly, there's no, I suppose, two ways about it. The clear standout horse of the day, Dreal Deal, should be winning this by 4, 5, 6 lengths at a fairly held up ride. I would imagine so anyway. Next horse then to follow him home is Ellipsum. Should really be the second best of the day. It's clear on ratings anyway, second best. Currently trading around 7-1. And the final, I suppose, horse, the third horse home, should really be this. I think it's Charlie Stringo. Currently trading around, I think, around 14-1, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong there, but yeah, I'm really going there, personally speaking, the fact that Noel Meade is in such great form, and Noel Meade is, I suppose, putting out some seriously talented horses in seriously talented form. Really and truly, it's not the strongest of race. It's, I suppose you could class it as low level handicappers, really. Apart from, I suppose, the top 2, and I suppose at a push the top 3, I think the third one is rated in around 96, 98. It's not really great for National Hunt racing. It's certainly no superstar-esque, but if you put the first, second and third favourite in that order for a TriCast, it pays 10-1. That is serious value. Really and truly, it looks like it's going to be first, second and third favourite home. I can't see anything else, probably apart from Barco's, maybe to come in third. That could be another one that sort of throws a bit of spanner in the works, but yeah, the fact that Noel Meade is in such good form, and the way he's, I suppose, placing his horses in such, I suppose, good races at the end of the day, I think that third at worst is going to be the place where Charlie Stringo is going to come. Like I said, 10-1 for a horse that's 1-4 on, with the second and third favourite to follow him home is great value. At the end of the day, I would definitely, I will admit, I'm getting on board that bet. I think it's a great shout. But look, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks again so much for, I suppose, the lovely comments and the lovely messages and all that. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, subscribing. I think it's 61% of the people looking at the videos that aren't subscribed. So really and truly, please do just hit that button. It only takes a second, and it just, I suppose, gets me to one step further to the place that I want to be with this YouTube channel. I wanted at the 1,000 mark so I can go get this channel monetized, and I suppose go on to bigger and better things with the likes of interviews with trainers, different things like that. Like I said, if you're going to be having a bet tomorrow, the very best of luck. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to keep this good run going. Thanks very much, and like I said, best of luck tomorrow.